KFSR and CMAC present the Central Valley Ledger, a public affairs program featuring stories from all over the Central Valley with Sevag Tateosian, 90.7 KFSR.
Welcome to the beautiful downtown Fresno studios of the Community Media Access Collaborative, Fresno and Clovis. We're here in downtown Fresno, not too far from the newly opened Fulton Street. And for those of you who haven't come out and taken a look at Fulton Street, take a drive down. It's much different than it has been the past couple of years. Today our guest is Sarah Hardin. She's here to tell us about a very cool thing going on at a local church, and I know because I drove through it. We'll talk about that a little later. Yes. Sarah, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Sevag. I appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Sarah. I'm married for 16 years. We just celebrated that a couple days ago. Yes, exciting. And I have 3 girls, and we attend Life Cathedral Church of God. And in fact, all of my in-laws attend with us too. So I'm excited to share with you what we're doing.
And that church, I don't mean that way, but the church you're mentioning is on Hardin and like Maple, is it?
It is, yeah. Right on the corner is actually Hardin School. So if you just go just a little bit south there, you'll see our big 3 crosses right in the front, but we're right there, yeah, near that corner. So you do something that I learned about because my sister said, hey, let's go drive by this church and we'll go take a look at something going on there. So we got the kids in the car and we traveled there, and we're glad we did, by the way, yes, because it was like a nativity scene. Yes. I'll let you tell us a little bit about what's going on during Christmas there. Okay, so on December 14th and 15th, Life Cathedral Church is putting on a Living Nativity. So we actually have our congregation who will be dressed as characters and living in Bethlehem. We have the manger scene. We have shepherds watching their, flock in the fields. We have angels and lots of different things going on, including live animals and everything. But our goal is to celebrate the birth of Jesus, and we want to celebrate with everybody. So we're excited about it. So last year, as soon as we turned on Maple from Hardin, there was a soldier with a horse. Yes. So tell us about him. It's my husband or my father-in-law, which is fun. But that actually drew a lot of people in, kind of just knowing what was going on. But we will have another Roman soldier this year. And they were dressed, excited. I don't mean to interrupt, but they were dressed like a Roman soldier. Yes, yes, yeah. We wanted to make it a little bit authentic, as best as we could. And so we have fabulous people at our church, and they were able to find costumes and different things for us to make it look really, really good. So walk us through. So last year, and I understand this year may be a little different. It will be different, yes. Last year we drove up and the Roman soldier greeted us. Yes. And then there was a fire pit and some different scenes. So walk us through what we'll see. Okay, so this year is actually different, which is really nice. After last year's feedback from different people, we realized that people wanted to get out and actually walk around and enjoy it a little bit more than just driving by. So we're going to change it up a little bit. So everybody gets to park this time, or we are going to encourage that they park to actually get out. So when they do get out, they'll be greeted right away with some hot chocolate and some popcorn and cookies. And then they'll actually walk through into the whole village area that we have. And the nativity scene will be off in the distance in the corner, and we have the whole village set up, and they'll see the camels and different things. But we also have a petting zoo this year. Wow. Yes, because we did have a lot of our guests who wanted to pet the animals, but we didn't really want it to interrupt the scene. So we're actually going to have 2 separate things going on. We're going to have animals in the scene that'll be there and stationary, and then all of the kids or those who want to, take advantage of petting some animals will actually have a petting zoo set up. But this is 2 nights, right? So it is. So you set up one night and then you tear down and then you set back up? Kind of half tear down, take in the things that actually are going to be maybe ruined with the rain, the dew or the cold of the night. But most of the scenery will be up, and in fact we're going to start getting that up within the next week or so, just to kind of be prepared a little bit quicker. So it's going to be neat. I'm excited. So last year we drove through. We had a great time, by the way.
So we drove through and someone told us, you know, you should get out and enjoy the different animals and the different scenes. Well, our kids didn't have shoes on because we kind of threw them in the car and said, let's go drive looking for lights. So this year, you're going to recommend that they walk. So parents should clothe their kids.
Absolutely. Bundle them up. We will have fire pits out there and different places for them to gather. Right in the middle, we'll have a bonfire with some hay bales so they can sit and enjoy that. But we want to make sure everybody is warm. It is going to be cold. So please come out with beanies, scarves, whatever to stay warm. So
there was a camel last year, and it was pretty cool because as we were exiting, we're like, wow, there's a real life camel right there. Tell us about the camel. Is he or she coming back?
Yes, absolutely. We're so thankful that we have a gentleman by the name of Gary Newcoop who was so generous in letting us use the camel last year and to be a part of our nativity last year. So we called him up and said, hey, is that something possible? And I just talked with him again today, and he said that she has a baby.
Oh, how cute.
So we are super excited that we I think are going to be able to have the baby with her too. So that'll definitely be really fun for them to see that too.
That will be very cute.
Yes.
So you mentioned support from like this gentleman, but this is a community effort, it sounds like. This is your church all coming together to make this happen because the detail that was there last year was impressive. Tell us a little bit about how hard, or not how hard, but how much effort goes into this.
You'd be surprised at how much. You know, we get started, from last year was our first year, so we didn't quite know what to expect, but we kind of just went for it. And so this year, after all the feedback, we changed some things, and we have for about 6 months now been kind of going at it and getting going. And we have awesome people at our church who just step up and took care of certain departments. And I'm just very thankful that we have all the people that we have, and it's definitely community. We can't do it, you know, without everybody just joining us and taking part of it. And in fact, we have friends of ours who don't go to our church who are wanting to be a part of it, and so we're letting them just come in and be with us too. So it's really, really nice.
Last year when we drove through, immediately we thought this thing can grow and has so much potential because it was such a home feeling. Like we were driving through and there was the fires, and then there were the different scenes and the animals. And so did you meet your expectations last year as far as people driving through? Because when we were there, we saw a lot of people driving through.
Right, there were a lot of people, and actually it surprised us. We didn't really know what to expect, and so we had probably over 1,000 people who actually came through.
Wow.
And that was really, really exciting. So we're definitely expecting at least double of that. I know through different people who've been advertising on Facebook and kind of sharing it, that we've had a lot of people seeing that it's coming up. So, you know, I think it's going to just continue to grow. But, you know, our goal is to just celebrate Jesus and the fact that he came to earth for us. And so we are just wanting to celebrate that with as many people. So hopefully it goes even more than that. So.
And I could see how even people that are not part of your church will want to be a part of this effort, because it's really a feel-good effort. It was so good to see the different scenes when we were driving through there. So 14th and 15th is when it is. Is it in the evening?
It is. It starts at 5:30 and we're running till 8:30. And then this year we changed it to Friday and Saturday because we had a lot of people last year who couldn't make it during the week and were bummed out that they couldn't go on a Saturday because we didn't have it on Saturday. So this year we changed it. So yeah, we want everybody to come out, so 5:30 to 8:30.
Do you need anything from the community? Like if someone's watching this program and says, what a great idea, what can we help with? Just show up and...
Yeah, you know, that would be the first thing, you know, that I would say is come out, enjoy it with us, come take part of it, and just take advantage of all that we're going to have out there. We're actually going to have photo opportunities, and then we're going to have carolers, and then we're going to have somebody reading the Bible story, and we're also going to have singing and different things going on. So come out and just fellowship with us and enjoy it right along with us, and we'll kind of go from there. So. How
many people take part in this? I mean, I saw a lot of people involved in like the different scenes, and you know, like there were little build outs of little like home looking things.
Yes.
And so how many people are a part of this? it sounds like a big group.
It is a pretty large group. You know, it's really hard to put a number on it because I actually don't know the number to be able to give you, but it's easily 100 people, you know. I mean, there are some that take on quite a few roles and kind of you know, they're the department heads in our group, but then they start recruiting other people in our church, or we actually have just a lot of different people from the community who are coming in too, so that's exciting. So there is a lot of people involved, and we need them all. So
how did you get involved in this whole project?
It actually started with my husband, yes, and he felt like this was something God had laid on his heart about 1.5 years ago, and he presented it to the pastor, we presented it to the church, and they said, let's do it, let's go for it. And so yeah, it just kind of came from that, and we just ran with it, and it's growing into something that we're probably going to end up doing every year now. And
the layout of the church is wonderful as well, because there's a lot of grounds. I mean, we drove through it, and it worked out perfectly. Yeah. So for people who want to get the visual, there's a lot of room in the front and back of the church for you to do things.
Absolutely, yeah. We're very blessed with that piece of property, so we can take advantage of everything that we have there. And so being able to have where people can actually park, and we encourage them to walk through, we have that availability to us because of the property and the way it's laid out. So it's nice that we have that. I'm very thankful. So why not just use it if we can?
So tell us a little bit more about your church. When are services? And I mean, talk about the church some more.
Okay. Well, first of all, I love the church. I mean, obviously, I've been there for over 12 years now. I'm very thankful for the church. We have Sunday services that start at 10:30, and then of course evening services at 5. But we have a lot of midweek things that go on with our youth and with our young adults. We have classes for them, adults, women, you know, just different age groups and stuff. So, and then we have different activities that go on, marriage classes and women's prayer groups, and, you know, coffee with friends on Fridays. So there's a lot of stuff that we try to do because we are about community. We are about family and relationships too. So I love it. I love being there.
So if someone wanted to come visit, what could they expect? If I wanted to come out on a Sunday,
you should come on over.
What can I expect?
Okay, so worship starts at 10:30, and what I'm thankful for too is that there's freedom in it. So how you want to worship the Lord, you know, you don't really have to hold back. You know, we get excited about football games and everything else, and if you want to get excited about God, go for it, you know. And I'm very thankful for our pastor, so you'll hear his preaching, and I definitely know he's anointed by God, and he follows what the Holy Spirit and what God is telling him to preach. So you'll always get the Word of God, and you'll get the truth. So, you know, Sunday services, you know, we have events in children's program, so the kids have a place to go, and then every other Sunday the youth have their classes, and there's lots going on over there.
And it sounds like the church is an important part of your life, the members' life. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. For me, church has been very important. Even growing up, it always was very important. But being here, I just find the community, the relationship, the drawing closer to God, and that's what my life is about. That's what I want it to be about, is serving the Lord and how I can do that. And I know that through Life Cathedral Church of God, that's a place that I can do that too. So let's again go back and talk about this. Living Nativity is what you're calling it. Yes.
And so it's the 14th and 15th of December. Walk us through what is going to happen. Say that I load my kids up in the van again. This time they're clothed, so better, so that we can, so that they can be outside running around. So we park, and then what?
Okay, and then you'll just be directed. We have fabulous people running the parking this year, and right when you come up to the church, you'll park, and then you'll come through, and that's when you'll get either hot chocolate or some coffee, something to kind of warm your body with, a little goodie.
And it's all free?
It's all free, yes. Nothing.
So can someone donate if they wanted to donate to the church? Or?
That would be awesome, obviously. You know, that's always welcome. That's people who are generous is always really nice, but it's not necessary. But yeah, hey, if somebody wants to do that, we're all for that for sure.
So we get our hot chocolate or coffee and then popcorn. And then do we walk to the next area, or what happens next?
It's actually just kind of at your leisure. So you're going to walk through this walkway, and you're going to walk through, and then right in the middle you'll see the bonfire. So if you feel like going and sitting down, you can do that. You'll be greeted by some carolers singing to you. And then right there in the front, you'll have a photo opportunity with different animals or different characters that we have that'll be set up throughout the night. the petting zoo will be close by. And then you just walk across and you'll start with the wise men and the camel at one direction, and you'll just go out into the field and walk each scene. And they have different scripts that they'll be, speaking. And so really we just want you to just, at your leisure, go and walk around and just enjoy all of it and celebrate with us.
So who's going to be the one caroling?
We actually have really talented people at our church, which is really awesome. So we have our worship leader, and she's got a crew together, an ensemble group, and they'll be walking around caroling and singing. And then we have others who will actually be doing certain songs. They're either by the manger scene or they're at the fire pit. So we just want to make it a celebration. And so for us, we're going to utilize all the talent we have in our church. So.
And then the petting zoo, so kids will be able to pet the animals in the petting zoo. What scenes specifically are we talking about? Can you talk about the scenes?
Sure. So we actually have the wise men and the camel, and we have a couple of wise men in their section. And then as you walk through the actual village of Bethlehem.
Which is cool. I hate to interrupt you, but
okay.
I get excited talking about this because this is really a good way to tell the story. So, you get to walk through Bethlehem.
Absolutely, yes. So you'll get to see just different, we have, bread makers, and we have woodworkers, and we have, this year we're going to have people selling rugs and different things. And there's going to be a lot of interaction. We have a lot of kids involved and everything. So you actually get to walk through Bethlehem. And then, of course, we have the inn where, how the story goes, where there wasn't a place for Mary and Joseph, to be able to stay. And so we'll have her, at the inn. We have a special person from our church who'll be working that scene and just talking about, hey, there's no more room. There's so many people here for the census and everything. And then as you walk on, it'll come to the manger scene, and that's where Mary and Joseph will be with some animals and the baby. So,
how cute.
Yeah, and off in the distance will be the shepherds with their sheep, and then also the angel who was in the night sky that night.
So what animals are we talking roughly will be there? Camels, sheep?
Right. So we have the camel, we'll have her baby, which I'm super excited about, but we'll also have some sheep and some goats and chickens, and we have a rabbit, and then over in the petting zoo we'll have the same.
So how excited, I'm going to ask you two questions, but similar. Last year, when you saw the first car go through, how excited were you?
Oh, we were so thrilled. Because it was something that, my husband felt like God was saying, do this, and we weren't really sure how it was going to be and if people were going to come. And when they started coming through and we saw lines, the long lines, we're like, yes, thank you, Jesus. And so this year, we know we have a lot of people already telling us that they're going to be coming. So I'm really, really excited, especially because it's going to be different than it was last year. It's going to be walking around, and, I want people to get to know our church too and who we are too. So I'm excited about that part too.
What's your goal with this whole thing? I mean, you and your husband, it started with an idea. Last year you saw it actually happen. This year you're taking it, I think you're taking it up a notch by getting people out of their cars to walk around. What's your goal? I mean, what is your goal with this?
Really, our goal is to just tell the world about Jesus and the fact that Christmas is about his birth, and we don't want to forget that part of Christmas at all. We want to celebrate and worship all in that way. So that's our goal, first of all, is to make sure that God gets the glory out of it all, of course. And then we just want to meet people and have people get to know us and just share and have fun that night and celebrating all of the things about Christmas. So that's really what it's about.
I have kids, and I want to teach them that, gifts are only one part of Christmas. There's a whole story. How important is it for people to know the true story of Christmas?
For me, it's everything, I don't know how much we want to go into all about the Bible or different things, but I believe what it says is true, and I want people to believe that, because it goes more than just his birth. It goes to the fact of his life, who he was, that he came to earth specifically to die for us, and that we get heaven, as a result of that. And so I want to for me, it's a foundation thing where people will know about who he is, and then it just goes from there. And that's something that I want to teach my kids too, is that Christmas is about the Lord, and and about Jesus coming to earth and why he did it. So I want to be able to share that with everybody.
You know, do you think that for someone who's never read the Bible or followed it, why should they, in your opinion? Why should they now decide to read it?
That is a hard question, you know, because from me, I come from the fact of having a foundation. I know what it says, but I believe it. I know how God has spoke to me. I know how he's used the word of God to guide my life. And I know that if I didn't have the Lord, that my life would be very different. And I want people to know that there's peace and there's healing and there's all these things that the Lord has for you, you know. And I know it because I've gone through these things. And so I want people to just take a chance, you know. God will reveal if he's real or not to them. So just start somewhere.
Talk about how people can find out more information about the church.
Okay, so we obviously have our website, lifecathedralchurch.org, and then we also have Facebook. Obviously, social media is huge.
And I think I've liked your Facebook page last year, but if I haven't, I'm going to check tonight, and I'm going to like it.
Please. Yeah, because we've been posting lots of different things about upcoming events, because we have more than just the Nativity that's coming up. We have a really awesome women's conference that's coming up in February.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yes, yeah. So it's called I Am Known. I'm really excited about it. My sister-in-law, Shanda, who you know.
For the record, yes. Shanda and my sister Hilda know each other.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I love Hilda, too. I want to plug that in. But so she's actually has something started. So it's just women who are struggling with hurt and brokenness and trying to find out who they are. And we want to tell them what God says about them, you know, and find out who they are in the Lord, you know, or just that God has healing and peace for them too. So that's coming February 23rd. Yeah. And we have men's things coming up. We don't have a special speaker just yet, but we have a men's conference coming up that's in the works. So there's lots of different things that you can find out on our page.
It sounds like the church is very active and very helpful, wants to help people.
Absolutely. We actually have a pantry at our church too, so which is awesome. I know I've been saying that a lot, but I'm very thankful for the people in our church who take on these different activities and different things, because our job is to tell the world and to share with them and to help them and to be with them and have relationships with people. So that's something that's important to us.
So we're running out of time this week on the program.
Yes.
Tell us about December 14th and 15th, Living Nativity.
Yes, please come out, join us. It's going to be really, really good, and we're excited about it. So please put it on your calendars, 5:30 to 8:30. Come out, and you can stay if you want to be there the whole 3 hours, you can do that.
And it's Hardin and Maple?
Yes, Hardin and Maple. Yeah, I think the address is 6901 North Maple.
And then also they'll get to see what I saw last year is a couple of Roman soldiers.
Yes.
So I'll be sure to say hi to them this time again when I see them dressed in the Roman gown, and they were on horses as well.
They were.
So that was pretty cool.
Did you see them walking across Hardin too?
I did. Yeah. I saw them walking across Hardin, and then the different scenes there. There'll be bonfires. There'll be
petting zoo, photo opportunities, just goodies and food, and then we also have a bag for everybody when they leave that actually has a free movie in it and different information of upcoming events, but then also the Christmas story also. So
thank you, Sarah, for coming on the show this week and telling us a little bit about your program.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
That's all for this edition of the Central Valley Ledger. We've been recording out of the beautiful downtown Fresno studios of the Community Media Access Collaborative, Fresno and Clovis. You got done listening to a pretty cool thing happening at Hardin and Maple. Life Cathedral Church is having a Living Nativity. So December 14th and 15th, take your family out there, drive through, park, and see all the cool things happening there. It'll be cold, so make sure you want to bundle up your children and have them run around and get to pet the animals and all kinds of other stuff. Thank you to the volunteer crew that made this production and every production possible. Gary Johnson was the technical director. Thank you also to those listening to this broadcast on KFSR 90.7 FM and also CMAC, Comcast 93 and AT&T 99. Tune in next week to a new edition.
KFSR and CMAC present the Central Valley Ledger, every Sunday morning at 11:30. For a complete program schedule, visit kfsr.org.